Hi everybody, before we get started today, I just want to remind you that I am selling several peach items in my store. You can either ask me about it or go to Dreamsicles and Moonfire on Facebook and you'll see everything there. But I'm specifically talking about these beautiful charms here. This is for Uterine Cancer Awareness Month, and this is Peach Moonstone. So this is a keychain, and you kind of see the Peach Moonstone. These are handcrafted by moi. I also have earrings to go along with that. So there you go, a pair of earrings. Obviously those are not my own, but I have several. I can make more. Guys, if you purchase this, not only are you spreading awareness of uterine cancer, which is the #3 killing thing for women, is also helping out my friend who has been battling uterine cancer for the past 8 years. So if you guys want to pop on, my links are in the description box, so you'll be able to go to Dreamsicles and Moonfire that way and take a look. All right, so stay tuned to the video. Minor trigger warnings. There might be some talk of self-harm. But otherwise, I think this is gonna be okay. I don't know. Minor trigger warnings right now, though. All right, I will see you guys in a moment. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. For everybody else, thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. I highly appreciate it. And I love you guys. And I love that I'm getting more viewers and more subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000, and I'm definitely doing the best that I can. Despite all of the obstacles that I have with my health, I am trucking along. So I appreciate all of you being patient for me, especially while I am ill. A quick shout out to Melissa Blue Delish, who I purchased most of my jewelry from, but her link will be in the description box, and you might be able to get a percentage off if you use everything right. Pretty pretties. So enjoy the pretty pretties. All right, so today I did give a minor trigger warning. I have not done anything in preparation for this because it's been one of those things that I've been told to do it this particular way. I'm going to be doing a reading of Heath Ledger. Now, Heath Ledger was an actor, an Academy Award-winning actor. He won for the Joker, actually, after he died. He died very young. He was in part of Brokeback Mountain, but also 10 Things I Hate About You and A Knight's Tale. Now, just a little funny tidbit, I was in the test audience for A Knight's Tale, and I saw a completely different version than you guys have. It was quite different, and it was a lot longer. So, just a funny little thing here. When I saw A Knight's Tale later, I think when it went on HBO or something, I'm like, oh my God, this is a completely different movie. And I had 3 friends with me, and we're all like, yeah, this is all weird. This is all so different. So what I saw in the movie theater, completely different than what came out. I'm also going to be using the Steampunk Tarot. If you guys have not seen this before, I think I've used this before. I do have one of these available for purchase if you like. Now, this is a mini deck. It doesn't mean that it's taken out any sort of cards. It just means the cards themselves are small. This is really good for traveling. This is something that I like to keep with me when I'm traveling, because these are about half the size of a normal tarot card deck. So just something to keep in mind there if you guys like this. So as far as the communication that I've been having with Heath Ledger in the last few days, it's been very fleeting but strong. He does not want to talk about his human life. Now, obviously I can't do that completely the way that he wants, because there are some things that I'm going to have to describe. He doesn't care about talking about his death at this point. I think this is something that he wants to speak about, but his life, he doesn't find it appealing, fascinating, whatever the case may be. He was Australian. He really had a close relationship with his father. And he did have a little girl named Matilda, who is still fairly young, with Michelle Williams, who he was with in Brokeback Mountain. I don't know how old she is, but she's still fairly young. The whole situation surrounding Heath Ledger's death was strange. It was an overdose, apparently, but why was, like, Mary-Kate Olsen involved, or Ashley Olsen? One of the Olsen twins was involved with this somehow. I honestly think she was the cleanup party, the person that they called to kind of, because she has the money and the power to basically do whatever the hell she wants. I feel like she was the cleanup crew. I don't feel like his death was... I don't believe it was a suicide, and he says, no, it wasn't. I wouldn't leave my daughter. But at the same time, he didn't fight it. So this is something that I call a confusion of the soul, because I don't believe he understood his actions were going to take him out of his body permanently. Now, was he on drugs? He wasn't on drugs the way that you would think. Not a typical, you think about rock and rollers and trashing hotels and, blow all over the place. That's not the case with Heath Ledger. In Heath Ledger's case, he was using recreational drugs, but for more as a medicinal, meditative thing, not because he wanted to get high, not because he wanted to be out of control. He was addicted to something completely different than drugs, and that was the other side. Weirdly enough, he was very addicted to, he could astral travel. He could leave his body and travel, but he didn't like to be limited by that. He was, honestly, I'm not judging when I say he wasn't proficient in that, because he never learned how to be able to control his flight, so to speak. When you astral travel, you can pretty much go anywhere, but some people are incredibly limited by their own fear because they're afraid that they're never going to get back in their body. That does happen. It's rare, but it does happen, and the way that you get to that point where you can go wherever you want is to work it up in baby steps and make sure that you have an open dialogue with your spirit guides and your angels and things like that, because astral travel is something that can educate your soul, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to do it in a way that is safe, because if you travel so far and you have left your body and you can't get back to it in a snap, then you may never be able to get back to your body. But the worst part about that is other things may grab you. And I know that's going to sound insane, but a lot of souls on this planet are kidnapped, and they are forced into bodies. Or forced into other things, but a lot of souls are being used for other purposes, and I don't know how else to explain it that without seeming controversial, is there are kidnapped souls, and They know when they're forced into something's body. I knew when I was forced into a body at 2 years old. So it's something that fascinated Heath Ledger very much. He was very much about the other side. He was very much about anything occult, very much about anything that would be metaphysical, new age. You know, people are calling it stuff. This is the religion, the stuff, the life that has been around before Christianity or before there was religion. You know, this is the stuff that we were born with, that we knew about at one point, but unfortunately, you know, the North remembers, the North forgot. So we are the North that has forgot. I think Heath Ledger was using drugs in order to bend the fear that he had about not being able to get back to his body. And he didn't pay attention enough to what the drugs could do to him and what unexpected could happen because of these drugs. This is the other thing about astral traveling. You also are leaving an empty vessel. And if you don't have something or someone protecting you, that empty vessel can be taken over by somebody else. Yes, that is 100% possible. Now, you can still come back into your body, but you're going to be fighting for somebody there. That's why you have to be incredibly careful with that. And the thing is, like, children do this all the time. And it is natural to them. They know what they're doing. They are closer to the other side at their point of existence than we are. So when they astral travel, because they do, don't be afraid about little kids doing this, experiencing this, because it is something that is freedom for them. And they also are naturally inclined and know what to do because they have just come from the other side. This is still very much ingrained in them. And I believe this is what Heath Ledger was trying to get back to. He was trying to get back to this point of almost having the childlike innocence of astral travel and working and talking with the other side. Now, I'm just being told to draw cards right now. I don't know really what questions I have. I just really sat down to talk and see what he had to say. So the first is the King of Cups. So this looks like a very old-timey dude. Of course, this is steampunk. But this gives me a feeling of authority. And this wasn't Heath Ledger's authority. This was somebody else, like a Dr. Robert watching over him. Like, it's somebody who was very seedy, but presented himself to be as such. Presenting himself to be an expert in this field. And because Heath Ledger was in a dark world, which is Hollywood, he hadn't stepped away enough from that to not have the poison influence of Hollywood. And I don't mean Hollywood just as a place. I mean Hollywood as a frame of mind. You could have people, celebrities, whoever, that are living in Hollywood and are not under the influence of, well, it's the devil, really, but it's under the, and I don't believe in the devil, but this is what I would call the devil. Okay. Seedy, disgusting, underground, horrible things that happen. Not everybody in Hollywood is like that, but not everybody who is a celebrity who lives outside of Hollywood escapes that. And Heath Ledger is one of those people who I believe lived in New York and could not escape the devil of Hollywood because it was him. He hated it, but he loved it too. He embraced it, but he hated it. He welcomed it in, but he hated it. And I don't know what he was trying to do. He was trying to reverse what deals he made and things that he had done in order to become the actor and become the method actor that he became. I don't know, but I feel like this person was a very seedy individual, but this was the best that he could have gotten in the situation that he believed. Now, if he would have taken a step out of this comfort zone and actually talked to people who really understand this and really know this and aren't like a Dr. Robert type person, he would have found himself in a much better situation. He was completely blind to what was happening around him. At any time he was in danger. I feel like he was either going through hypnosis sessions, or something very similar to that with this doctor person. And every time he left his body or he was in a relaxed state, he was in complete danger. There were people ready to jump in at any point. And I do feel like there was a female working as an assistant who might have just been like taking notes. There might even be a recording of this. I'm not sure. Ah, here she is. She's the Queen of Cups. So she has evidence. She actually has evidence. Real physical evidence of what happened. She has the key. She's still alive. I'm surprised about that. She's still alive. But it's like she has the key. I have the key. I have all of the knowledge. I have it backed up. So if anything ever happens to this woman, there's a kill switch that will automatically upload things to her lawyer and to a few other places to make this whole situation public. This is not witchcraft. I want you guys to understand that this is not witchcraft. This is not devil worshiping. It's a bastardization of several different belief systems and a lot of their own, and the influence of drugs in order to get a desired result. And the desired result didn't work, obviously, because he died. And I believe that his death was a direct result of this cycle that he put himself in. His curiosity killed him. And again, if he would have used better channels and things like that to probably help him clear out his soul and things like that, he never would have been in this situation. He probably still would have been alive today, but not for much longer. His lifespan would have been short. No matter what happened to Heath Ledger, no matter if he just lived a normal life, you know, even if he got into Hollywood, you know, this whole thing didn't happen, he still would have died at an early age. I think he would have been alive now, but not for much longer. And this tells me he was meant for an exit early. So he would have gotten in an accident. He would have gotten ill. Something would have taken his life because he was not meant to be here very long. No. Yeah, this is the Six of Swords, so this tells me he went through his chances really fast, and he used up some crap. He really used up a lot of his life force every time he was doing this traveling, and the only thing I can compare it to is astral traveling, because it's different, but it's the same. But he used up his life force during those sessions, and it almost feels like a guided hypnosis, but at the same time, once you get to a certain point, there's no more guiding. It's wait and see. And I do believe that Heath Ledger was a bit of a daredevil. I mean, you may have not seen it in his public persona, but I think he probably would have been a person that would like jump out of planes and do things like that. He had to have had some sort of drive in order to even do the things that he was doing in the first place. And it's his quest for knowledge is what killed him. But his quest for knowledge was wrong. He could have done this in a completely different manner and lived as long as he should have lived and found out much different things in his life. Like what I'm hearing him say is, I could have become a monk. I could have moved past what I was doing, but that was never going to happen because those Hollywood people would never let him do that. See? You're not gonna bite the hand that feeds you. That hand gives you money, and that hand is going to grab you and pull you down. This is a trap. This is a trap, and he fell into the trap. He really fell into it, and he never would have been able to fully embrace this spiritual side of himself because he would have been held back. I might have to do a part 2 on this because I know this is already long, but what I'm seeing is he's carrying a lot of regret, and he's carrying it very close to him, and he is maybe not in the best place right now. Yeah, this is interesting. We might have to do a part 2 on this. Yep, because there were 3 people involved, a man, a woman, and him, that were there that night. They were there. It was like they were putting the swords through, you know, the old magic trick where you put swords through on each side and you wonder if the guy's going to bleed to death or get cut. That's exactly what this is. A magic trick. It was a magic trick. He was fooled. He believed the illusion. And the thing is, he was smarter than that, and he fell for it. We're going to have to do a part 2, guys, because this is a long video, and I don't want to bore you, because some of this was just talking about what he wants to talk about, and we'll get there. We'll get more of what he wants to talk about, but again, he does not want to talk about his human life. So right now, this is just me signing off and saying thank you very much, Crystal Balls. I love you guys. Don't forget to check out all of my information down below, which also includes my Patreon and how you can get on Dreamsicles and Moonfire and purchase something like as cool as this. Otherwise, think about joining my Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can get a monthly reading. But if you don't want a monthly reading, you can start as little as $1 a month. All right, everybody, you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.